Over the course of this program, we'll be looking at a number of issues that separate us: age, wealth, and politics. To begin, Kelefa Sanneh and an age-old problem.
In the 50s, Dick Tracy had a watch you could talk. You could make phone calls on. I've got one now.
At a brew pub in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania,
Thanks, Gina.
we sat with 4 people over 60 and 4 people under 40. We wondered what differences they see between the generations.
My parents had an arranged marriage. I married someone who was not Indian. I'm lucky enough to own a house with my husband.
That's the American dream.
But is it realistic?
Our first house was $33,000.
Now the average car is $33,000. So like it adds just a level of anxiety and defeat to somebody already. Couple that with the fact that some people's jobs aren't the wages they should be making to be able to afford that, kind of living.
The conversation moved from finances
We all live in our echo chambers. Right?
to technology.
When you're on social media, you're following and liking the things that think the same way as you, and you become trapped in that.
And inevitably politics.
Some of the main leadership that we have in Congress are over the age of 70. Are they really totally understanding of our younger generation?
This idea that I'm on social media, I do TikTok dances, I totally know what young people are doing. Right. No, you don't. You have zero idea what young people are up to.
You want the best. Right. I don't want the age. I don't want the color. I want the best.
We're not necessarily saying that the older generation in government needs to totally go away, but maybe a bigger balance.
Right. Representation.
Yeah,
exactly.
There was some finger pointing.
As you grow older, you keep experiencing things and you inherit them, and it's a monkey on your back and you can't get it off.
I'm growing older and I'm inheriting what you guys did to our climate and to our environment. And now I have to change my ways for the next generation to come. Because if I don't, there won't be anything here.
You feel like you have to clean up the mess that was left to you.
They lived their lives, they did what they wanted to do, and now I'm here composting my banana peels.
But they probably feel like they were cleaning up the mess that was left to them.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, for sure. I wasn't smoking on planes. I wasn't smoking in movie theaters.
Edwin was smoking on planes.
I smoked on a plane.
The biggest disagreement was over work ethics.
If you save and you sacrifice, it does get better. The problem is that we haven't taught our kids that. And we're into entitlements. And by making you entitled, it ruins you because you don't know how to work.
Are you saying young people today are spoiled?
Well, you said it. The average guy's on his phone about 300 times a day. I'm working for a living, I can't be on the phone all day.
I remember there used to be encyclopedia salesmen that used to come to your door. Now I have an encyclopedia in my pocket at all times.
You're a follower. You're not a leader. When you start thinking for yourself, you become a leader.
Eventually, they found common ground.
Every generation just acts different, and it makes you feel old. Our parents used things like groovy, and I was like, that's a ridiculous word, you know what I mean? And then our generation said things like lit, and people younger than us are like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah,
I know,
I literally had to get a lesson the other day. They kept saying no cap, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
How do I use this in a sentence? You feel old, I'm 28, I feel old.
That's one thing that never changes. We're all getting older.
I needed Joe to do everything he did in his life before we got here, and I need all these TikTokers to do what they doing.
You're assuming that Joe's not on TikTok. We don't know that.
I'm not.
Joe the barber on TikTok? That would be pretty cool.
I have no idea what it is.
That's got to be good news for you, right? It means that this too shall pass.
But it will also recycle. 60s parents were freaking out because you had interracial couples. You had guys running around with tattoos on. You're smoking what? And how dare you confront the U.S. government about a war? Drastically different. But these things, they come back around. They just have different clothes on.
Or the same clothes on.